Hey, what's up guys? Noxfox here, playing Vainglory once again, because I'm always playing Vainglory. What else would I be doing? So, actually back in my comfort zone here. I'm doing some Ardan. I think I mentioned this like last video, but every once in a while you just gotta go back to what you're comfortable with. And for me, that's usually support. Even though, like, I don't know, I really enjoy playing jungle. And even lane when I get the chance. Support is definitely where I feel the most comfortable, just because I have the most matches played as that role. So yeah, it's like, I don't know, it just immediately feels like, I don't know, right, I guess is how you would say to me when I start playing like an Ardan. Ardan especially. I know Ardan has a special place in my Vainglory heart, I guess you would say. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Ardan just feels right to me. I have so many games played as Ardan. So anyways, that's what I'm doing. Yeah, so I'm out of the jungle for a change. I think I've been having like jungle videos all week. So here's some support. And so yeah, I'm actually, you know, it makes support a lot more exciting when you haven't done it in a long time. It's like, oh yeah, support. I love support. When you take a break from it for a while and just play like jungle and lane for a while and come back to it, it's like, oh yeah, jungle or support is awesome. And as you can see, feeling pretty comfortable with this aggressive opening. Gonna pick up both of these. Nice. Yeah, and then hopefully get some farm. We'll see. Can't ask for a much better opening than that. Yep, we're gonna get regen. Yeah, getting backs this early is still really risky. And then Scarf came down. And then are we gonna pick up Scarf too? Holy crap! Yes, we do. And yeah, and then Lane's just like, whatever. Good job, guys. You killed the entire team. Yeah. So I mean, this is, I don't know. It's fun coming back to support like that, and things are going well. You're like, yeah, this is what I usually do. Yeah. All those times I was struggling in the jungle and in the lane. This is what I was missing out on. Yeah, so yeah, getting the backs can be pretty risky if you just feel like you are completely gonna dominate. If like you killed the junglers before they even got to shop and you guys are fully shopped, then maybe go for it. Or if you didn't take much damage, but otherwise it can be really rough. Like the laner can rotate really easily, so that's always an issue. You could end up with a 3v2 because the timers are so short that the jungler is going to be up and at you probably before you even finish getting the backs, potentially before the backs even spawn. So yeah, getting that first round of enemy like backs. I mean, I guess technically it'd be the second round. But yeah, trying to go for those can be really risky. I try to avoid it. For the most part, unless I just feel like it's like a sure thing. Like I know they're up and the enemy just went down and we'll be able to get them and get out. Yeah, but for that first like rotation, it can be really risky. So yeah, a lot of times just grabbing the regen in the bottoms is good enough. It still, I mean, you got the kill, you got that farm. It's, you know, still puts you in the lead gold wise. So it's not a bad deal. And there's like, doing it that way, there's like very little risk. The one thing that could have happened is if Scarf had kind of got like reached us, if we had gotten like lower in the fight and then we ran into Scarf like we did, and the fight kind of went in Scarf's favor, then that could have been a little bit bad, but probably not like, you know, a critical failure just yet. Not that early in the game. Hopefully, anyways, but you never know. Sometimes just a little traction at the beginning of the game can carry a team for the rest of the game. That's why those Fortress Kashka comps were so popular. They could just get traction early on in the game, and just they became unstoppable the longer the game went on. Even though it was like a comp that was strong in the early game, by the time late game rolled around, it was just too late. So yeah. So, and I think that's what we're going to see in this match. We're just going to see how that early game traction is just going to carry us through the rest of the game. It's easy for me. I know I've been saying like in every video that's been coming out, it's like, I don't remember because we did so many matches, but I do remember this one because it was like the only Ardan match. And like I said, I was just kind of like getting back into a comfortable pair of pants. That's how like playing Ardan feels. It's like going from like your like very tight, like uncomfortable dress pants with a belt, like going back into like your pajamas or something. It's just way more comfortable. I don't know, this is the weirdest analogy. Anyways, I like it. I like my weird analogy. So yeah, so that's why I remember this match, and I think this was like a perfect match. Which, you know, there's not always honestly, there's like, I feel like there's always a lot more to learn from your failures than your successes. Or not even like just the failure, like so in the terms of Vainglory, not even like necessarily a game that you lost, but in a game where like mistakes were made. Yeah, not like separate from whether or not like the team was able to pull out a win, but just like where you can kind of spot mistakes and you can learn from those. But I mean, sometimes there's some things to learn from, you know, a match where everything goes well. Not for usually not for the person playing, at least not as much, but definitely for people who are finding it hard, like of how to manage the jungle or what they should be doing, or how, you know, what things should look like. It could definitely be useful for those people. So hopefully for anybody who's like, you know, trying to learn Koshka or Ardan, this will give you a decent idea of some things to do, some things to look out for, and some ways to be Beefstick just getting ganked hard. I don't know why I sprinted up there after he died. There wasn't really anything to do. See, there was a mistake. I just spotted a mistake. I completely wasted those boots. There was no reason to get there in a hurry after the laner was already dead. Sitting there. I'm gonna learn from that mistake. Don't do stupid stuff. So yeah, I got separated from jungler. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Am I planning to solo farm this or what? I don't know why. I should be running back towards my jungler. So yeah, mistakes. Spot those mistakes, learn from them. There's really no point in me going. It was probably just an instance where like I said, I've been playing jungle all day, so I was like, okay, I'll go solo farm. I was like, oh wait, I'm the support. I'm guessing that's what kind of happened there. But yeah, in general, there was like no. I mean, I might have just been checking the backs. I might have been just worried about losing the backs. But other than that, there was really no reason to go over there. And if I was playing, you know, super seriously, I would have had vision on him anyways. When we get like an early lead like that, a lot of times, or if I know we're going to be invading and being aggressive, if we're the aggressors, then I don't really worry about vision as much, or at all in some cases. And I didn't fountain, so that was cool. But whatever. Yeah, actually, since I know this was a very successful match on our part in the jungle, I'm gonna be like extremely critical of myself because now I'm just kind of looking for mistakes. I mean, I feel like that's gonna be like the best way to learn from this match. So yeah, I mean, it was definitely nice to have the fountain there. Okay, so I will say that yeah, I should have fountain sooner to try to save the laner, but at the same time, having it on reserve at that point was really good to do. The laner kind of got himself in a crappy situation, so I mean, why should it be my responsibility to save him all the time? Well, it's not so much that, but more of like, if like even using the fountain might not have saved him, so then it's just a wasted fountain. And then when the next fight happens with just me in the... Wait, he's back already? Oh, okay, I guess so. But anyways, yeah, so then like when the next fight happens, like now I'm down the item and the item didn't save anybody anyways. So it's the same as not having it, basically. So yeah, I don't know. Either option could have been right. There's a lot of times there's no way to know until like after the match. So like now that it's after the match, I can say like, oh yeah, it was good that we had that fountain. But in reality, I probably should have just tried to use it and maybe potentially save the laner. But I guess I was just slow on it, or I just forgot that I had the fountain already since it was pretty early in the match. But anyways, like I said, yeah, I'm gonna try to be hypercritical here because, like I said, it's good. Like mistakes, spotting mistakes, and then making corrections is where a lot of like the improvement happens. Just in general, not even like just Vainglory or anything. Just when you're trying to become better at something. I know it's like that saying they have for chess where it's like being a master chess player isn't about knowing which moves to make, but it's knowing all the moves not to make. It's knowing what all the mistakes would be and then just avoiding them. Even when you talk to high elo players, that's usually what they say they need to like. You know, they say that's what they want to focus on. It's like they feel like they do good things, but like what they really need to do is like stop mistakes. Like they'll do things that they feel like they shouldn't have done. I don't know. It happens to everybody, and it's always gonna happen. I mean, if both teams played perfectly, then I mean, who would win, right? Mistakes are gonna get made. Yeah, you can't be omnipotent and know everything. So eventually, a mistake is gonna happen, and you just try to learn from those and try to make as few as possible, and then try to learn from the ones that you do make. And so yeah. Anyways, to sum it up, I'm gonna try to be critical of like everything I do here. Not bad, not bad. I could have crucibled the Ozo ult there, but I did. I vanguarded instead, which worked out. Now wouldn't be a bad time. Okay, I was gonna say now would not be a bad time to fountain. Try to get Kashka back to a safe level, but then I eventually did. So yay, go me. So yeah, I could have blocked the Ozo ult. I'm definitely the kind of person who tries to save those kind of things as much as possible, and I wasn't really scared about the Ozo ult. It wasn't gonna knock Kashka into any kind of situation, like not into any worse situation than she was already in. All it does is just kind of stun her for like a half a second or a second, whichever it is on Ozo. I'm not entirely sure. I think it's like a second. Yeah, which isn't a big issue. Especially so with Kashka, her damage comes out in chunks. So being stunned for a second really doesn't mean much because she's probably waiting for a cooldown anyways. The only bad thing is she also gets cooldown from auto attacks. So I mean that would be kind of a little bit of a damage hit because she might not get the little cooldown reduction from the auto attack that she would have gotten that 1 second. But yeah, the scary part about stuns typically is about keeping an enemy in a position they don't want to be in. And the position that the Ozo's ult was going to put Kashka in really didn't worry me. So it wasn't really something to look out for. So yeah, anyways, I still should like I said, I could have blocked it. I probably should have, but I really wasn't worried about it. And I just didn't get there in time to save. So this is a good example of the other way that gank before could have happened. So when I said I went up to Kestrel and I could have fountained her, but I didn't. So this was the other way that goes, where I went up there, I used all my items, and it didn't do squat anyway. So now we're starting this, like, now we don't have those items for this encounter, where we could actually get a pretty decent push here, potentially. Because we got a minion wave. And, well, now that Scarf joined, it's not particularly great. But yeah, so, yeah, that's actually, I like that, because now you guys get to see how that plays out both ways. So you can... yeah, so I don't know, sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you get there and you use your item and you can save the laner and you keep it a 3v3, or sometimes you get there and you try to do everything you can, and it's just not enough, and then you end up just wasting the items. So it's like, like I said, you can't know everything, and eventually you're gonna make a mistake because you can't know everything. You can't know if like using those 2 items is gonna save that person or not. You just have to try to like make your best judgment based on what's going on. And I'm just gonna, yeah, okay. Ardan's too good at picking up those kind of kills to avoid that, or not to avoid it, but to opt out of doing that. Kester goes down, but we get a clean up. Nice ace, and we're gonna go to gold mine, hopefully. I'll stop punching stuff in lane. And yep, there we go. And get a nice little gold mine right before Kraken comes up in 40 seconds. Well, 35 seconds now. So yeah, not bad. Excuse me, not bad. What the heck's going on with my voice? I've been recording too many of these, I guess. Yeah, not sure why I went with the contraption. Not feeling like we really need vision a whole lot. We're not like having a hard time with getting ganked and such. But still, it's always good to have. I honestly like getting the contraption and the warhorn both lately. I mean, they're both just so useful. It just kind of sucks because the building, like, once you have one built, then building the other one, there's like, you know, getting the second iron guard, it just really does nothing for you. So it feels like wasted money until it's actually finished. Might actually want a fountain kestrel here. Oh, very nice gauntlet. Not to toot my own horn. That was an awesome gauntlet. It was a split plus a double stun. And nice, we get right inside of Ardan's gauntlet. Kestrel, I crucible Kestrel right on in. And please fountain soon, potentially. I don't know. Well, the thing with fountain is, well, fountain and crucible, they both do the most good when the target is closest to death. So I always try to hold on to it. Use it now. There you go. Yeah. So I save it as long as possible, because as you can see, yeah, you see how much health that gave. Well, it's hard to tell now because now it's an ace. But typically, if they're just about to die and you pop that fountain, that'll bring them all the way back up to full health. It's really nice, but you know, then you run the risk of the character being killed, which can be a problem. That's another thing that makes Ardan kind of nice, is you can just drop the Vanguard. And let's say like you're trying to do that and someone's taking heavy damage, you can drop the Vanguard, the Crucible, and the Fountain all at the same time and kind of keep them alive while they heal up and just keep them in the fight. Kestrel, you're worried he's gonna burn? I know he had a shield, he had a block or something, and it was just barely enough. Let's test these upgrades. And okay, yeah, we're gonna go for these. Cool. That's what I figured. It's what I would do if I was in that situation right now. And yes, very nice. So yeah, we own most of the jungle right now, and I should be putting down more contraption scouts. Yeah, I never like to have a contraption at 3 charges, because when it's at 3 charges, it means it's doing nothing. Keep it at 2 charges, that way it's always generating a new charge. And Koshka has no energy, so I went ahead and just picked those up because it was taking way too long. It kind of puts us in a kind of dangerous position on the map. So yeah, so there's another little mistake I could work on. I definitely should have been putting down the vision more with contraption. Like I said, when you start, I mean, for me personally, when we start getting like really far ahead and like really snowballing like this, I get a little lax on some of the fundamentals. So, I don't know, sometimes when you see me not doing something I should be doing, a lot of times that's the reason. Which I keep saying I shouldn't do, because that's how comebacks happen, but I don't know, it's casual. When it's casual, I try to like stay a little more relaxed and don't stress out if stuff happens or if things don't go well. Nothing's at stake except honor, so. Oh, okay, and he had a block. Oh, but then the Koshka with the follow-up block. A really nice follow-up, or not follow-up block, follow-up stun. Very nice follow-up stun by Koshka there. Honestly, pretty much perfect. Waited till right when Koshka waited till right when they knew Scarf wasn't going to get stunned by the gauntlet, and then also the block had worn off. And then just followed up with the stun immediately after and let us get that kill. Really great stun by Koshka right there. And this is looking like it could be a final push. Well, not so much. Not so much anymore. But definitely a damaging push. Hopefully we can survive this. And yeah. And I'm just gonna bail on Koshka so that they don't get an ace. Actually, I should have known better, because the way this patch works, when towers go down, the respawn timers go down. So yeah, we wouldn't be able to end it there because of that. Most likely, unless we just dominated it super hard. So yeah, it looks like it's gonna take at least one more push to end this game. And they might be going for Kraken. I know I should have vision of it. Looks like I do. I don't know why I'm not just checking it. But yeah, it doesn't seem like anything's happening at Kraken. So We're fine. Okay, starting to. I have really great coverage of our side of the jungle and like nothing on their side. Definitely would want to see some more stuff on their side. So I think we're just gonna. Sorry guys, I'm like getting hiccups. I actually had them before I started recording. I was like holding my breath to get rid of them before I started recording, but I guess they're coming back. So I think we're just gonna pick up this money. You know, laner clear lane, we clear jungle, then we're probably gonna infuse and try to end this. I would assume that's gonna be the course of action. But we'll see. I don't know what I'm looking at. I didn't buy anything. Okay, they're trying to push. They're kind of a little far forward there. We're gonna slam into their back right now. Yeah, okay. That could end up being bad for them. It's actually turning into an interesting fight. Okay, so so Ozo gets picked up. Ardan's in trouble. Yeah, they went too far forward without having vision or without knowing where we're at. Oh yeah, so you might have noticed when I split away from Koshka there, I warhorned, and it actually had two functions. The one was that it's going to give Koshka the warhorn so that she can catch up with and clean up the Ardan, and then of course it gets me back to Kestrel sooner so I can help keep supporting against an enemy that's still at full life. Yeah, I don't know, that can be when you kind of have to split away from someone, and that for those reasons that can be like a nice time to use warhorn. When you want to help them catch what they're chasing, but you need to get back to the other member. So yeah, so that's going to cost them the game. They just kind of went too far offside without knowing where we were. So we just kind of came up right behind them and engaged them in a position they did not want to be in. And then that's all we needed to give us. We just needed that one last push. So yeah, a very nice support game for me. But yeah, as you can see, even when things went really well, some people, call a zero death game a perfect game. But as we saw, there's definitely room to improve. There were some things I could have done better or differently that could have potentially been better. So yeah. Anyways, hope you enjoyed my thoughts on this match and on support, and hope you enjoyed the match. I'll see you guys in the next video later. Bye.